And the last question before we conclude the real estate part is what are three things that you can list out to look for in the ideal real estate property that you want to purchase? Are there any key structural aspects that you should look into the property, or any key details? Could you share that?
So you can, again, once again, it depends on what you're looking for. If it's your first
Mhm.
home or like or house you want to live in versus like an investment
Let's say
property,
let's say it's an investment for renting out,
right?
and what would be like the top three things on your mind?
I would say so. There's a lot of people that do an offer where so there's a conditional offer and a non-conditional offer usually,
Hmm.
and that means like a conditional offer is where you show intent that you want to buy a house and you do your inspections and get all your reports, and then if the reports come out good, then you proceed with the purchase of the house. And if there's something you find in the reports that you don't like, you can back out and there's no penalty. Whereas an unconditional offer is just a blind saying, I'm buying it, I take it, and we don't do inspections, or even if we do inspections and we find something, it's my problem to fix. It's not your problem anymore, right? So a lot of people were doing unconditional offers at a point because of the competition in the marketplace. Like there's 4 or 5 buyers for one house, and in order to secure the house, they're saying, you know what, we'll take it no matter what the problems are. We'll just take it. Um,
Hmm. Wow.
and yeah, in my opinion, I don't think that's a smart move because
Hmm.
maybe 8 out of 10 times you're fine, you're okay, nothing happens, or something minor and it's easy to fix. But 2 out of 10 times you'll find a big problem, like maybe a structural issue. I don't know, maybe you go into the basement, you realize there's termites that ate the wood, and now your entire house needs to be like reinforced or something like that, and that will cause significant delays, and like the cost can go really high really fast. And
Hmm.
as an investor, that's not a risk you should you should look at taking on. So in my opinion, I would say don't do unconditional offers. Like always do your due diligence. Take your like the one thing is people might get into the fallacy of like limited resources in terms of like if this opportunity goes, I'm never going to find another one. But that's not true. If you wait enough, like it's sometimes just a waiting game. Maybe you lost this opportunity, but there's another one around the corner. And sometimes there are more than one. There's more than one property for sale, right? So there's definitely going to be options for you. So don't like I would say don't do like anything crazy like unconditional offers or significantly overpaying because you think the market's going to keep going up in a linear way or anything like that. Um, guess that's the primary thing. And so the first thing I kind of took one of those investor courses for real estate for a bit. Like it was just
Hmm.
like an online course, and the first thing they teach you is like um, try to find money in the buy. Like if the property value you think is like 1 million by looking at like comparables and everything, see if you can get it at 900,000 or see if you can get it 800,000. Because if you buy it 800 and the property value is 1 million,
Hmm.
that 200,000 is like technically your profit because you bought something for cheaper, right?
Okay. Hmm.
Um, although those deals are very like rare, like from my experience, when I was shopping,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
think I lost a few good deals because of that. Like I was looking for the money in the buy,
Hmm.
and there were some good prices that I missed out on in terms of houses. Like it was prime location. I was going to get good rent money, and I was gonna, I think I was very close on buying one property, but because it felt like I wasn't making money in the buy, or it felt like I was paying like what the house was at market price or even a little bit above, I passed on it. And when I look back, I'm like, these are classroom theories. Like they don't work in real life, or
Hmm.
not all the time, or not in this market, anyways. So
Hmm.
I think looking at long term appreciation, it's a long term game, in my opinion. Like unless you're doing flips or something, investment is a long term game. If you're just doing the rentals,
So it is number one, have conditional offer. Number two, keep your emotions out of it, just like stock market. Number three would be
I guess number
long.
two is more like don't go for the ideal situation. Like,
Hmm.
if you have like five things that you're trying to check off, like it's going to be super hard to find a property that matches 5 out of 5 in your like it's like a golden egg, right? It's like,
Yeah.
a property in a good location, which is going to get you a great rent. It's going to appreciate. It looks in good condition. You don't have to put in too much work, and you're trying to make money in the buy. Like, all five conditions being met is like very rare. So
Mhm.
like sometimes you might have to
It's just
sacrifice
like
one or two.
comparing the financial statements of a company while you're buying the stock
Yeah,
shares, and everything does not add up. There will
yeah,
be the cash flow might be a little lesser.
exactly.
There may not be free cash flow. There may not be a growth in the revenue every year. So I think
Yeah,
that's what I can compare this to. You can't
yeah,
tick all
yeah,
of the boxes,
exactly. Like
and
sometimes
there is
like
and there is
three or
no
four
ideal.
criteria match. Yeah,
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 there is no ideal model in the real world. They teach you in the classrooms, but it doesn't exist in the real world. So get as close. I think what you're saying is get as close to ticking as many boxes as you possibly can. And to summarize, again, number one is conditional offer. Number two is keep your emotions out of the game, just like stock market while buying shares. Number three is long-term gains. Focus on the long-term gains.
mhm.
And an additional bonus point or a tip for you would be there is no ideal real estate property in the market,
I'm
which
not
ticks
saying there's
all of the
no
boxes.
ideal. Like it's like this. We in pursuit of the ideal case, you may be giving up on good or great opportunities, and
Hmm.
sometimes like that's not worth it, right? Like
Okay.
maybe,
Okay.
yeah, like having a great, it's like a bird in the hand is two in the bush kind of
Hmm.
thing. It's
Got
like
it.
where you have something good or great in your hand, but you leave it
Hmm.
because you want that ideal situation.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay. All right. And moving on, you know, we have been in the podcast for 42 minutes. I hope the audience are getting some value and some key takeaways from this.